I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something vexing you, Captain? Perhaps it's just my judicious nature, but I think we should be careful if we're following up on this lucky fellow's message. I've always felt caution as the best approach when one has delivered a message attached to a severed limb. He sounded lost, perhaps slightly untethered from reality. A feeling I know all too well. It doesn't strike me as a setup, but I still advise caution. Why not? It is what we do, isn't it? As always, I am at your disposal. Something vexing you, Captain?
Something you need? I hope we can help Miss Minnie uncover what happened to her mother. I wouldn't wish the pain of not knowing on hardly anyone. Not a word. And I've been sticking my nose in every one of our stately ladies' crannies, stem to stern. Oh, law! That sounds untoward, don't it? That ain't what I meant. Point is, Captain, Mr. Hawthorne left all kinds of scribblings behind panels and under consoles, but ain't a lick of it mentioned Mr. Lucky. So whatever they got up to in the past must have been really extra secret. And lots of fun. I don't want to be mean, Captain, but I can't help wondering if Miss Minnie is telling us the whole story about Gorgon. Her mother worked there for years and years, and she doesn't know hardly the first thing about it? It seems fishy. And in the serials, mystery's always got a twist. Well, Virginia Yang, that girl detective, she'd say to check your theories at the door. Just look at the facts and follow the clues. Me? I just want to fix what's been broke. Alrighty. You change your mind, you just holler. Yeah? I mean, what do you need? Captain? Mr. Sir?
Hey, Cap. Something ain't right here, Captain. We ought to tread carefully. All this cloak and dagger for a journal? I ain't buying it. Yeah, the whole thing stinks of a cover-up. I'm used to folks leaving their messes behind for all the colony to see. Hell, look at Monarch. So imagine what they'd actually be trying to hide. Captain, it's gonna be bad. I know. We've seen our fair share of awful in this colony, that's for damn sure. Alls I'm saying is, be careful. Something feels different about this one.
Something on your mind? You know I've got no love for top-rungers, but if Minnie's willing to pay, I say we take her money. Sure, like Ada said, he was a big name among freelancers. I met him at Lost Hope once. He was buying rounds for everyone and telling a story about one of his jobs. Pretty sure half of it was made up. You ever get the feeling someone's just trying too hard? I'm gonna ignore that bit of subtext, Captain. There was just something about Montoya I couldn't quite trust. He was always the center of a room, and he slapped a lot of backs to stay there. Yeah. I'm trying to say that if he screwed this job up, that's on him. I still like our odds. He may have had a rep, but you're more capable than he ever was. Hey, I only throw in with winners. What's on your mind? From his arm? The decay makes it hard to tell. Could be a lot of things. Torn off by something with big teeth, torn off by something with big claws, torn off by someone with a moderately sharp blade. Or maybe he just got too close to heavy machinery. Sure. Something on your mind?
Issuing sanitation ticket. Error! Refill printer paper.
Ship's starting to feel like home. Good to see you, boss.
So we just sat around a table talking about a severed arm. Of all the weird things that happened on this ship, that ranks somewhere in the middle. You ever watch The Masked Marketeer? Episode 5 of The Masked Marketeer. First appearance of a recurring villain. Big ol' galoot, built like one of those industrial-class garbage compressors. His name? Tiny. Every adventure serial's gotta have a supporting character with an ironical name. It's a rule of the Genry. Masked Marketeer had a massive bruiser named Tiny, and we got ourselves a real unfortunate hullhead named Lucky. Coincidence? I think not. Genre, right. Thanks. I read that word in a poster once. Never actually used it in a conversation. Anyway, where were we? Not yet, we're not. We keep picking up jobs like this, and somebody's bound to make a serial about us. We're freelancers. We take any job we can get. But this one? The dying message of a stranger. A severed hand delivered in a crate. Let's just say it beats flying around the colony running errands. So, of course, I'm gonna be excited. You're a master of understatement, boss.
Hey, Cap. We've seen a lot of stupid in this colony, Captain. Trying to turn raptidons into diet toothpaste. But this, if it's true, if Marauders were made, someone ought to burn for it, Captain. That's a nice thought, Cap. You're a good person. But no. I knew folks who turned. I've seen it happen. It's a slow, insidious descent into madness. Ain't but a shell left behind, sniffing around for its next meal like a canid. Well, someone has to be. Marauders are a problem. Finding out it's self-inflicted is... Ugh! Someone unleashed that evil on our colony. And at the end of all this, they ought to look that evil in the eye and account for it. Good. Thanks for chatting. I know I ain't normally the one to wear my heart on my sleeve like this, but this whole thing's got me shaken up a bit. I'll pull it together. Let's go. Let's find out what happened.
Good to see you, boss. Nice work dealing with those freebooters. Somebody out there wants us dead. That don't exactly narrow the field. Whoever it was, if they really wanted to cross us off, they should have sent competent mercenaries. Yeah, you're right. Besides, even if the freebooters were competent, you would have made them look like a bunch of amateurs, boss. Beats me. Could have been anybody. Could have been... Ada. Yeah, it probably wasn't Ada. Hey! Could have been my old foreman. Hey, Ada said she was eager to test out the ship's defenses. We can't rule her out, that's all I'm saying.
I find myself marveling at the something vexing. I must say, our mysterious antagonist is quite rude. It goes against all wireless etiquette to not identify yourself when tossing around threats to life and limb. Under normal circumstances, I'd point the finger at Spacer's choice, but they wouldn't hide in the shadows. They'd throw the full force of their security apparatus at us. Don't be deceived. UDL knows exactly what they're doing. UDL created the Spacer's Choice Company to flood the market with cheap, substandard goods, and it gave them the capital to be the most powerful corporation on the board. Their profit-before-quality ethos has not only filled their pockets with bits, it also defines who they are and explains the disposable quality of life in Halcyon. I suppose you could say their incompetence is a design feature. The Marauders are just the natural end result of how little value they ascribe to any human life but their own. What's surprising to me is that I allowed myself to be a part of that system. Even after they threw me in the penitentiary, I still acted like I was doing their bidding in Edgewater, selling the townspeople on the idea that the plan supported the board's rule. All in pursuit of a book that I thought would solve all my problems. I appreciate you trying to make me feel better, but please, don't misunderstand. I can still feel regret, as well as a myriad of other normal emotions, but that's all just part of the perfection of life for me now. My emotions neither consume nor define me.
Good to see you, boss.
Looks like you got a big decision to make. But I guess that's why you're the boss. I'm glad you asked, because that's an easy one. Project Gorgon was a mistake, and it needs to be destroyed. No, boss. Project Gorgon was designed to exploit people. They were trying to make a drug that let you work harder, sleep less, and give more of your life to Spacer's Choice. Don't reactivate the project. Do the right thing. Burn it down. I ain't sticking my neck out for Doc Ambrose. She's a monster, just like everybody else on Project Gorgon. But at least she knows what she's done. Justify it however you want, boss. Nothing good ever came out of Project Gorgon. Nothing good ever will. I was wrong about Miss Ambrose. I thought she was different. Turns out she's just like any other wealthy elite. Miss Ambrose thinks she's doing right by the common worker. But she never hauled boxes for a couple bits a day, or slept alone in a cargo hold, or had to eat salt tuna. Probably. Anytime, boss. Anything else?
Something busted, Captain? Can't help wondering if we're doing the right thing. For us, the Ambroses, or even Halcyon. Maybe there's some way we can get them to work together and fix this. Ain't no good can come out of turning that machine back on, Captain. Not after what we've seen here. Even with Miss Minnie at the helm, how can we be sure Spacer's Choice doesn't do Adrenatime all over again, but worse? Dr. Ambrose means to make certain they can't even try. I know she ain't exactly a nice lady, and it's her fault the colony's even in this mess in the first place. But she means to stop the hurt she caused. We gotta help her try. You mean like on a cure? Now there's a powerful notion. It won't be easy, that's for sure. Dr. Ambrose thinks Minnie's good for nothing, and Minnie thinks her mom hates her. If we could somehow show him that ain't true, and that a cure's even possible. Captain, it just might work. If something good comes out of all this, I'll be beside myself. Thanks for asking my thoughts, Captain.
What a mess! What a mess! Issuing sanitation ticket. Error! Refill printer paper.
Hey, Cap. I wish I could set this entire asteroid ablaze. No amount of booze is ever gonna chase the sight of a meat cube from my memory. I've seen animals tearing one another apart. I've shot folks, been shot by folks. I once saw Cat Malin shove an assassin into a sulfur pool. He dissolved. But those weren't choices. Mana pillars don't give you moral options. What went on in those labs, the suffering they caused, they chose it. There's always a choice, Captain. I know that sounds like a hollow platitude, but some of these folks should have chosen death over what they did. There's a certain kind of consistency to the board's decision-making. It's about the bottom line. People are just resources with costs and yields. So I used to think, well, if they're leaving Monarch, maybe they need the resources to build better elsewhere. Yeah, they spent the money on diet fucking toothpaste. Ain't no hope left in this colony, Captain. Not while the board's still intact. I'm sure there were some in the labs, too. Forced to do evil, just to put food on a plate. A system like that is fucked, Captain. People ought to be able to choose a better way. Hey, thanks for talking. It helps.
Something on your mind? And I thought my mother was a handful. This job has gotten messy. Hey, you're the captain because you're the one who has to think about this stuff. I'm just along for the ride. You know I'm not one to pass up a good payday. But after everything we've seen, handing Gorgon back to Spacer's Choice doesn't sit right. Dr. Ambrose may be almost as crazy as Phineas, but she may be right, too. We done with the introspection? I'd rather get back to shooting or drinking. What's on your mind? Sure. Something on your mind?
As always, I am at your disposal. Anything you'd like to discuss? Now that we've gotten Olivia's side of this whole fiasco, have you given much thought as to who you'll be siding with? It's not my place to say, Captain. You run this crew. I merely serve on it. I believe Minnie means well, but she's playing with forces she doesn't understand. And I don't just mean Adrena time. Even were she to succeed, what would it mean to the people of this colony? Do you really think they'd be given a choice as to whether they used a drug that boosted their productivity? And, even in the unlikely chance they were, I do not believe the colonists are equipped to make that decision for themselves. You've seen how they rationalize even the most abhorrent corporate practices. The board will work them to death even more effectively than they do currently, and they'll thank them. You may very well be right, but it will not be easy. Will that be all? I find myself